Alright, we're back again. Space Shitty, episode 2. And we have our first guest. An official trained fighter ninja. Like, hurt people in real life, not just on camera like we do. You can tell us what you do, who you are, and why you do it. What you got?
My name is Eleazar Rodriguez. Eleazar El Oso Rodriguez. El Oso is my nickname. Means the bear. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. I'm a pro MMA fighter. I've been fighting for, I'd say, since 2010, I think.
Nice.
And you know, I'm doing okay in it. You know, I'm a win-lose. You know, kind of a journeyman in a sense, but I'm enjoying the ride, and it's definitely a good experience.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna start off with the first question. A lot of people don't ask this because I listen to a lot of MMA news and Ariel Helwani and all those motherfuckers, but nobody ever asked this question, and I've always been curious because I've been punched in the face before. I've had the wind knocked out of me before, but I've never gotten like whacked to where you didn't know where you were. Like, how does that shit feel? Like, how does it feel to like have so much pain that you don't know where you are? Not necessarily get knocked out or something, but you're just like, oh shit. Like, can you describe that feeling?
I'd say it depends on the situation. You know, I mean, sometimes when you're already in the fight for a while, you've got so much adrenaline rushing through it that you really don't feel it too much. You know,
for real.
You know, somebody hits you and you either know it's hard or you're going out. You know, it's either hard or it's not hard. You can kind of figure out how much you can take. You know. Yeah. And sometimes maybe you're not prepared for it, you know, and you get knocked out. But
do you get nervous still before a fight? Like right before, like you're like, okay, are you clammy? Are you sweating? Like
it's nerve-wracking. For me, it's different because for me, like I'll get sleepy. So when I'm in the back, and you know everybody's a little different. Yeah. Some people are up jumping around, shadow boxing. People are getting wrapped and stuff like that.
You're ready to take a nap.
People have headphones. Yeah, I'm serious. I'll just sit there and I'm like this, yawning and trying not to fall asleep. And sometimes I'll take naps.
Yeah. Did you hear that story that Rashad Evans always tells? He's like, one of his first fights in the UFC, and he's in that bitch. He's like shadow boxing, and he sees this dude in the corner sleep. Yeah. And he's like looking. He's like, man, that motherfucker's never gonna be a champion. He's too, he's too relaxed. You know what it was? Anderson fucking Silva. Just knocked out in that bitch, like chilling. You're probably, that's that gangster mentality, you know what I'm saying?
It's like just another day at the office.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, the way I look at it, I'd rather, instead of just sitting, I'm going to be nervous either way.
Yeah.
But instead of sitting there and wasting a bunch of energy, I just want to rest and, stay calm and cool. Mm-hmm. And that's how I deal with the nerves. I get sleepy, I start yawning. But once you step into the cage, they close that door, all that kind of goes away.
No shit.
At that point, you're at fight or flight, and you're inside the cage. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this is a weird question, but do you have trouble focusing, like in general, not in fights, but in general?
Yeah, I'd say I do.
They say like, nah, for real. I was looking at this because I was like, I like to experiment with various drugs. And I was looking at that fucking ADHD medicine. I'm like, I'm going to take some of this shit. And they say one of the things about that is the ADHD people, when their heart starts beating real fast, like, the drugs are stimulants. It calms them down. So people with ADHD, when they get like that adrenaline rush, they tend to get tired.
Yeah.
That might be some shit that you know what I'm saying?
Well, isn't it supposed to have like a reverse effect with
exactly
people who don't have it, I guess?
Yeah, because when I took, I mean, not that you should take, drugs that you're not prescribed.
You should.
But, the other day I took some fucking Adderall, and I was like, wow! Like, I was gone, I was ready. I definitely don't have ADHD, because I was in that bitch, wow.
You were just attacking everything?
Hell yeah.
Dude, I did that for business law. Like, man, I completely neglected this class, like, altogether. Like, the whole semester, it was one exam. The whole semester was one exam, one final. I didn't do shit. I never went to class. Maybe like a week prior to the exam, I'm like, oh shit. Here we go. I'm like, Adderall, 2 days no sleep, made a B.
Yeah,
dude, I did not
that's what I'm
sleep
talking
for
about.
Days.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, Adderall. Knocked it out. I think I did like 11 chapters over that 2 day span.
Yeah, see that's
awesome.
And then retained it just for the test.
You know what I'm saying?
And everything after that is like gone.
Yes, exactly.
I can't go back and grasping of that information.
Some people measure maturity and how well you handle situations. I measure it in how much shit you can get done in a 24-hour period, and I don't care how
Right
many
before.
drugs you take. Hell yeah.
Procrastination at its best.
That's how I knew I'm a man. Yeah. So when you're training for a camp, is there like a certain routine you do, or can you do it like that? Can you be like, man, I'm gonna fight this dude tomorrow. I better get all my shit together.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take the crash course. I think
No
the
shit.
best way to do it, I'd say, I mean, well, one, you should always be training, you know?
Yeah.
If you can just consistently train, I don't know, 4 times a week maybe, and
Yeah.
stay healthy, and then take like a 2-month, 3-month fight camp. And even like 3 months is kind of long. I mean, I'm sure like people who, you know, do it full time, who
Yeah.
are only fighters, can do that, and they can measure it out a little bit better. But I usually I feel comfortable when I have a 2-month camp. You know,
No
'cause
shit.
then, you know, depending on where I'm at before, you know, I get healthy, I get cleaned up, you know, start working on technique. And once I get closer to the fight, then it's all about technique and training, you know.
No shit. That's pretty rigorous though. Like 4 days a week of hard training.
And that's early, I mean, because like once you're like I'd say closer to the camp, I mean, like 2 months or 1 month, you're doing 6 days a week. Sometimes there's a few
6
days.
a week.
There's a few days where it's like, you know, you get 2 workouts in 2 days. Some guys do 3 days. When I was younger, and like let's say I had a 4-day work week, so I had a 3-day weekend. On that Friday, I would make sure that I had like a 2-day setup or a 3-day setup, you know.
No shit.
And then like Saturday 2 days, something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So-
Does that like give you time to recover? Because when you go in there, you can't be banged up. I would assume you can't fight banged
Yeah, I
up.
think it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, you're not, you know, sparring for all 3 sessions or
Oh,
anything
you're
like
not?
that, but no.
See, that's what I am like. I would be the worst like fighting coach because I would be like, all right, today's practice, you're gonna fight. All right, second practice, all right,
We're gonna
you're
fight
gonna fight
some
somebody
more.
else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Full contact, guys.
all the time. Like that's to me because I don't know shit. Like I'm like, if you're gonna ride a bike, you just get on that bitch and ride. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got stuff like strength and conditioning, and you know, you can separate the grappling and the striking, or you know, do them together, or just like a mid workout. You know, you're hitting mids and you're going over technique and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hitting pads, you know.
Yeah.
And that's always good. It helps you with your technique and timing. You
Yeah,
know.
that's what's up. So I know in jiu-jitsu there's lineages. Do you have like did you go through the same path with the same guy to get your brown belt or?
Well, not really. I guess I got my brown belt through Jose Reyes, and he was my original jiu-jitsu coach. And at the time, he was with Alliance through Alan Moeller, who I'm with now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of still working towards my black belt, and
Yeah.
now I'm working directly with Alan Moeller. I train at his gym now.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's kind of it's kind of is the same lineage, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not like the same coach. And honestly, I'm not even sure if he's still with Alliance or not.
Alliance MMA?
No, like the jiu-jitsu lineage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what's up, man. How do you know this
It
motherfucker?
gets pretty deep, man. Well, this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, we go way, way
We
back.
go way back.
We go back to high school, man. I met this guy through Enrique. They were friends in school, and then we ended up hanging out. Dude, he was my roommate in Dallas for a while back
No
in the day
shit.
before he took his first professional fight. Like we were drinking buddies,
We were bums, and we just
fighting bums.
So you were?
yeah, we get into fights like in the street.
No shit. Yeah, this motherfucker. He'll fight anybody. That's.
I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anybody any day, anytime. Your young, like, whippersnapper days. We
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck. But, yeah, man, we were chatting up yesterday. We had dinner. And I was like, yeah, man, do you remember when we were the tight t-shirt crew? That's what all of his cousins used to call us. Because they had, like, the long tees when
tall
that shit
tees.
was popular. Tall tees.
Yeah.
Look at these. Look at these fags right here. Like, tight t-shirts and shit.
What is
But
happening?
as soon as people stepped to the plate, man, this dude, me, we were just knocking motherfuckers out.
No shit with your tight
Yeah.
t-shirts on.
Tight t-shirts, like, what now?
See, I would have been that dude that was like talking about y'all, but I would have been like, I mean, you know, I would have like pulled you to the side and been like, hey, your shirt's a little tight, bro. Yeah. I mean, I don't know your situation. Like, I be fucking up on the dryer sometimes too, so my shit shrink. I just want you to know that shit looks weird. And you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been me.
I still remember, and we were actually reminiscing on this one fight one time. Like we were at where we were at his cousin's house.
Yeah.
And this one dude who everybody was kind of like kicking out looks at
He
Elazar.
was peeing in the corner.
He was peeing in the corner of the house at the house party.
Like inside the house?
Yeah, and so they're kicking him out.
Shit.
As he's getting kicked out, he sees this guy. He's like, "Who's this faggot?"
Damn, he just said that to you?
Straight to his.
Because I told him, hey, you gotta go, man. Because he kept trying to come back in. And,
You've been evicted.
Like, they had a guy at the door, and so he was telling him no, and I was like, hey, man, you gotta go. Like, be in the house.
Sit in the fucking corner of the house. There's a restroom in that motherfucker.
But wait, hold on. So he's in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
And they're like, you gotta go. And he's like, nah, I'm cool.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
coming back
at
in.
this time,
No shit.
at this time, we were like on the front porch.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So he was like trying to come back in.
Ah,
And
okay.
we were inside. We had came out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? You know, this guy named David, and he's like, yeah, this guy peed in the house, and he's trying to come back in. It's like, nah, man, just go. And he's like,
Nice, man.
he's
Like,
like-
just get out of here, dude. It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's all good.
We ain't gonna whoop your asses yet.
And
Look, the front porch is elevated and there's some stairs. So as soon as I heard this dude kind of mouth off to him, I go to the bottom of the stairs and wait. I knew it was gonna happen. Sure enough, it was just like, bing. The dude comes coming down the stairs. I'm waiting for him at the bottom. Stomp, punch.
Damn.
We're just beating his ass.
And-
And we were rolling with one of our friends from high school, Nick, the only white dude in our crew. And
Oh,
Nick's like, man, I'm white. I am not getting involved.
He's like, you know,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
Nick, what the fuck, dude? Why don't you help us? Because we ended up having to fight all of his friends, too.
Yeah.
like two of his buddies. One of them hit me with like some brass knuckles.
Dude, it was
I still got
crazy.
this scar right here.
No
Like, it
shit.
just came over my head.
what the fuck kind of parties y'all go to? That's
Dude,
fucked
Oak
up.
Cliff.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was-
shit.
yeah,
Oak Cliff. That's my hood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we up there in the
That's why
tight
we were
t-shirt
at
room.
Is that where all? Cause like I got a lot of frat brothers that are Mexican from Dallas, and like every single one of them is from Oak Cliff. Did they just concentrate the Hispanic population of Oak
There's
Cliff,
a lot
like
of,
Dallas
there's a
and
lot of
Oak
black
Cliff?
folks in Oak
No.
Cliff, too.
There's black people, like for real.
Because I grew up in my neighborhood, which is mostly now Mexican, was
Yeah.
all black folks.
Yeah.
No
When I
shit.
moved
South
there.
Oak Cliff.
It was
South Oak
okay,
Cliff.
yeah.
I
So-
went to school out there.
I mean,
too.
it's still
Wild
mixed,
story.
but there's a lot more, you know.
I guess it's like Greenspoint, yeah, because Greenspoint, like when we first moved in, was all black. Now it's like half black and like a large Hispanic population, but then there's like a lot of Filipinos too. Yeah, so I guess that just sort of happens over time.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, shout out to Mateo, the king of Oak Cliff. He know who he is. I ain't gonna never forget. I got a frat brother, right? Like before I joined the fraternity, I'm just a little nerdy kid in college. I'm like in this club, and this big Mexican dude, like if you see him, he's like bald, he's big, he's like a rugby player, and he was drunk as fuck. And he came over to me, and his face was serious. Like I was like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. And he puts his arm around me, and then he smiles. And he goes, "This is for my body, oh Holmes." And I'm like, all right, fool. And then he gives me a beer and just walks off. And I'm like, all right. And then my homeboy Naboo, like he's another little nerdy, like Indian kid. He comes up to me, he's like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "I don't know, but I got this beer, so I'm not on with it." And years later, I found out that's my boy Mateo from Oak Cliff, and now
There you
we're
go.
like. He's like one of my closest frat brothers. Like he's real cool. But I was like, I thought he was gonna hit me or something. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm scared. But
So this is like what the Dallas like Houston like mashup. They say we don't get along. I
Yeah.
think that's bullshit.
I don't understand
It
the
is. I like
Dallas
Houston.
hate.
I like
You know what I'm
Houston.
saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
Houston's
come out and have a
dope.
great time.
Yeah, I love Dallas. So I'm like, look, I grew up there. I'm originally from LA. I'm like, God, it's all love. Every time I
Yeah.
go out to Dallas, I'm like, I got my friends out there. I go hang out with them. I mean, here in Houston, obviously, I live here. I got my people down here. So, man, it's not. I've had nothing but love, except for.
Yeah.
the
You know what it
Dallas-
is though?
It's a nice little rivalry to keep people
Team
like
sports.
exactly.
That shit will
And that's-
fuck people up.
That's funny because I'm not really into team sports.
Me
I
neither,
watch
yeah.
football. This
Yeah.
dude doesn't look. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
my brother doesn't. He's like, oh, I don't give a fuck about sports.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I get asked all the time. They're like, "Oh, did you watch the game? Who are you rooting for?" I'm like, "I don't watch
The
any
winning
sports."
team.
exactly yeah. Yeah, like the winners. Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the biggest I think pitfalls for me at work because they're like, hey, you know, like who's the NFL draft and like who's doing what? I'm like, sorry,
Dog.
Brian.
I never knew
I
what
don't
the
know shit
draft
about
like
anything.
was. Like I had an idea of what the draft is, cause like I don't watch it. Like, but it's literally them watching people picking teams.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
how the fuck do you watch? You know, like I got him. People like, oh, yo, he got him. That's what's up. Like, I don't
Yeah, they're like, because it turns into fantasy, and then there's pots, and people are like fucking betting and
people wanna
everything,
bet.
and it's its own little like, hey, almost like
Yeah.
your escape from the harshness of the world.
But the way it's
Shitty
been
job.
described, you would think it would be
9 to 5.
way more interesting than the shit it actually is.
I mean,
Like the way people describe that shit.
For me, look, and I watch football just because I get to drink.
yeah.
That's really it. When the boys, I'm like, all right, let's go have some beers.
All right, yeah.
I'll go to a Super
I'm like,
Bowl
what's
party.
happening here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't need the game could be on or not. If you haven't drank, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? That's
But
what's
you
up.
put me in front of an MMA fight, and I'm like, oh, I'm there. I'm with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I
I
can watch
really
it.
love that. I love that shit. So
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, I'll sit there and watch MMA and boxing, of course, but I'll also sit there and watch, like, you know, just Olympic wrestling whenever it's on.
Yeah.
Freestyle and Greco, or they'll have, like, some judo matches, and I'll sit there and I'll watch it.
Because you wrestled,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
you wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
So did Enrique. That's
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
met. That's how they met right there.
Enrique
Actually,
wrestled?
yeah.
Like Enrique,
Yeah,
Enrique, your
my
brother?
brother Enrique,
No
yeah.
shit.
Dude, he used to be like, let me practice this move on you. I'm like,
Duh.
all right, like a fucking idiot.
He's
He's
always
like, "Yeah."
smiling. He's always like, hey. Like, I can't imagine him wrestling.
Enrique was a pretty decent wrestler. I'll give him that.
No
When-
shit.
When I met Enrique, like, I just met him in class, actually, because we had a few classes together, and I think one day, like, this teacher brings up, like, you know, a box full of pears from,
Yeah.
from her home.
Yeah.
Pear trees, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, if you guys want to come and get one, and, like, I think might have had Enrique for, like, 2 classes, so I kind of saw him around, but I don't really know him. He comes up to me eating this pear, and he's just like, hey, what's up, man? When I have you to class? I was like,
Who is this guy?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like,
what's up? How you doing? And after that, we kind of hit it off. We became good friends, and I joined the wrestling team. And I was like, hey, Kike, you have to join the wrestling team. And I think what did he join, like in sophomore year or something like that?
Something
maybe?
like that, yeah.
So, like, cause we met as freshmen, and after that, he didn't join that year. But the following year, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out.
no shit.
Yeah, and he ended up wrestling like I think in his junior or senior year, like, and he did pretty good, you know.
No shit.
Dude, we used to go see him at his matches. I'll never forget this. He's, right before a match, he gets so sweaty, his ass on the leotard,
Yeah.
it's a wet spot. I'm like, dude, that is fantastic.
It was like in a tramp stamp area.
No
So he had that whole sweat back here.
I was like, dude, that looks ridiculous. Like, I know, man.
He was like,
And if he
And
wasn't
then had
late,
that
he would be here to
big-ass
defend
fro.
himself.
Enrique had gigantic,
big-ass
like he
fro.
would pick out like almost like
Enrique
a
had a
Jew
fro.
fro.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, it was humongous, dude.
This dude needs to be here right now.
I wish. I'm
He's
like, what we were
supposed to
talking
be here
about.
right now.
He was late. We invited him to this podcast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's on the way.
15 minutes late.
15 minutes, yeah. He been 15 minutes away for like 30 minutes, but I mean, I ain't hating. But yo, I wanna, like, I can't, you gotta see Enrique, everybody watching this, and you will be as shocked as I am that this dude wrestled and that this dude had a fro.
Dude,
'Cause
dude's
neither of those
he's so
things.
easy going. Like, I'm usually the wound up one. The first one would be like, man, fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah. If somebody told me like Jose wrestled, I'd be like, was he on cocaine too? Because I believe that too. You know? He's like, yeah, fuck this wrestling boy. Let's do
Dude,
this.
we were, like, so, like, I would say, like, a lot of my friends are Enrique's friends, and vice versa. Enrique's friends
Yeah.
became my friends, and we got a nice group of people that just, like, we solidified.
That's what's up.
And so, I mean, these were like-minded individuals, and all of our friends are kind of the same way.
Yeah.
But even, through Capoeira, because Enrique was doing Capoeira, that's how I met all you motherfuckers.
That is true, yeah.
Because that's
I
how I
didn't know
met
which one of you
Freddie,
motherfuckers
through
did.
Kurt, and do that whole group.
Yeah.
And then a whole Capoeira group and all the Brazilians, and that's how I met everybody. 'Cause Enrique did a couple of classes, and I just kind of tagged him. I never did Capoeira once.
Yeah. I thought you did it when I came. I was like, oh, this dude does capoeira. Then, yeah.
Never did
Turns out you
Capoeira
never
once.
did
I
capoeira.
did jujitsu. This dude drove me to jujitsu one time, man. I was hungover. We're doing the workout. They pair me up with this fat motherfucker. This dude was so fat. He's like, okay, you're on the bottom. I'm over here. I'm like, I'm not gonna get submitted.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up real quick. Just go to the restroom, throw up all the Gatorade. You know, he's just winded. You know, like you start
Yeah.
seeing stars and shit. I'm like, hold on real quick. right, I'm good. I'm back.
And he
But
never
dude,
went back.
No, I think I might have gone back one more
I
time.
think you went back like
No
once, twice.
shit.
Yeah, because I remember meeting Jose.
Yeah.
Jose Reyes, the dude was Salvadoran.
Yeah.
Yo,
He was
no
like,
shit.
Dude, that's that Salvadoran drawing, like, mira, bueno.
Yeah.
You know, all these little speech things
Yeah,
you kind of pick
you can
up.
tell.
It's like,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
us. One of us.
And that's the thing. So I want to ask you, because I've asked I know a lot of people that do jujitsu, and I wanted to do jujitsu, and they're always like, man, you know, like I'm kind of struggling, so I can't really, you know. They talk about the fighter's life. I know a couple of fighters, but jujitsu's fucking expensive. Like, how the fuck do people pay for jujitsu? Like that shit is $100 a month.
Pretty much. Like that's on par. Like that's what you're paying. It's to go to a good. At least I researched some jiu-jitsu schools out here.
Yeah.
You got to go out of the way. Like they're out in the outskirts.
Yeah.
You know?
And
To
so
go-
it's
to go to a
time
good
and
school.
money that you gotta
Yeah.
invest in that. Like, how do you manage that? Because you're spending the time that, for me, I would be spending the time at jujitsu that I would need to be working to be able to afford jujitsu. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how those two.
It's like the ultimate catch-22.
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
to work to play jiu-jitsu, but I got to be at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how do you manage your time and the money that involved in all the?
Well, you know,
fighting?
yeah, it gets expensive. You know, it's having to drive to the gym alone.
Yeah.
And if you're cross training, if you're going to different gyms,
Yeah.
you know, because I've been doing it for a long time. I know a lot of people have some buddies. My friend Sam Snow, who opened up his own jiu-jitsu gym,
Oh, cool.
and I'll go out there, and he's like in what is it, Northwestern Hills, which is, I'd say about half an hour drive from where I stay.
Yeah.
And I go out there on Friday sometimes and do like open mat nogi. And for example, that's an open mat, so you're welcome to show up.
Oh,
Grab
okay.
it.
Is that what
On
open
that
mat
day?
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open mat, but it's a 30-minute drive still.
Yeah.
So, you know, and there's traffic, whatever. And so I'm spending that time and money to drive out there. But it's just something you do when you enjoy the art. You know, you
Yeah.
enjoy you need the training. You know, if you're gonna fight, and if you just want to do it, you're willing to shell out a couple of bucks. You know.
It's just prioritized.
And yeah, it definitely gets expensive, but obviously you can cut out other things in life, like going out to eat all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Drinking.
stuff like that, drinking.
Drinking,
I
yeah.
mean, you can't
You go to the
excel.
bar.
Yeah.
You can't really
Bar,
excel
yeah.
in jiu-jitsu if
Yeah.
you're drinking like that.
Yeah.
Even
So,
just
I'd be the nigga to give it a try. But you probably can't, you know what I'm saying?
because even work. Look, so right now, just working out, like Jess is kind of like we motivate each other to work out more. So I'm doing 4 or 5 days a week of like workouts,
Nice.
and that's including running and lifting.
Oh, nice.
And so
Yeah.
like, dude, I kind of my alcohol intake is severely reduced, like big time, just because I'm like, first, I don't want to be hungover for these workouts. Second, I can't escape them.
Yeah,
I cannot
'cause
escape
you got
the
another
workouts. I
person,
already
yeah.
committed. She's gonna be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You said you were gonna work out. Now get your ass up and let's go work out. And you're doing the workout hungover. You're not really hitting it like at your full potential.
Yeah.
And so, how long you been doing jiu-jitsu for? Well, when did you start? Like when did you go to the first jiu-jitsu gym?
I'd say about 10 years now, because I started when I was 22. I'm 32 now, so I started when I was living in Irving with Daniel and Fernando.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like I just and it's kind of funny because I think I had just gotten a job because I was living with some buddies and I had a job, but something happened and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So then I was probably without a job for about a month or two because it was like November, December, kind of holidays.
Yeah.
And I'd say starting around January, I got a job and I was working, 40 hours, 45 hours, something like that. So I had pretty good money coming in then. And it was actually one of my first mechanic jobs. I'm a diesel mechanic.
Okay.
So I decided to go to Sears to go buy a couple of hand tools that I needed. Well, I missed the exit or whatever, and I stopped at a stoplight to bust a U-turn, and I look over and there's a jiu-jitsu school. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, So I went and bought my tools and whatever. The next week I'm like, I gotta go check out that school.
No shit.
It's like it just struck a chord. He's like, I gotta get in there.
And that's where I met Jose Reyes,
Yeah.
No shit. That's
It's
like.
like-
What's up.
and like I think that was like a Kempo karate studio. But
Yeah.
they let him teach jiu-jitsu out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely helped me out that it was a smaller school and it was more affordable.
Yeah.
So you can definitely shop around as far as like schools. And then, once you feel comfortable, you can go somewhere else that might be a little bit more expensive or whatever.
Yeah.
or just have a better program all around.
Yeah.
So
And how did that come from you making a U-turn, going to a jiu-jitsu school, to fighting MMA professionally?
well,
Because that's some real job advancement. Like I've been teaching English without moving up for like 13 years, and the only thing that changes is the students. I'm doing the same shit. I get the same test. Like somebody, if you really went on the internet right now, you could pass all of my tests because I haven't changed shit in like 13 years. So how did
1 and 3 up?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how did you go from all right, I'm gonna go to this little school to now I'm gonna fight people professionally?
Fight people
This is
in
my
the cage.
job. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a long time coming. I mean, like I told you, I wrestled in high school or whatever, so I always kind of had that itch to go do some sort of combat sports. And
Yeah.
even when I was hanging out with this guy, like before I got into jiu-jitsu and all that, like we'd sit there on Friday nights and watch like UFC.
Yeah.
You know?
Just
Yeah.
So we were
drinking.
watching,
Yeah.
here we are with our 12-pack, 12-pack
Yeah.
of beer and watching the UFC. Watching Nate Diaz. Remember when he fought, what's his name? Who did he fight? I think it was after they did that show.
Did he fight? Was it Stephen Bonner or was it the
No,
other?
it wasn't Jen.
No, he didn't fight. Nate didn't fight Stephen Bonner. No, I'm thinking
No,
Nate fought GSP.
No, I'm thinking. Okay,
No,
no, that
What
one.
year was it?
it was. I think they were like in the first Ultimate Fighter. I
Yeah.
think that's what we were watching. The first Ultimate Fighter.
That was the one, what's his face won, right?
He beat Manny Gamburian, I think.
Manny
Yeah.
Gamburian.
Yeah.
Manny Gamburian, that's who it was. Yeah.
Man, because I was like, yeah, this shit is super interesting. I got the UFC Fight Pass. I'm like, I love this shit.
Yeah.
We were at the mall yesterday. I was like, yeah, you go, Sean. I'm gonna be right here on the seat.
Yeah.
Like watching this fight real quick.
Yeah.
I saw some of the Snoop podcast or some of the Snoop cast.
Yeah.
Where he does the announcing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, man.
How is it? Is
It's
it
kind of
magical?
funny, but then also I like the commentary where it's more technical because I like
Yeah.
hearing that shit.
Yeah.
Because one part, I think he got this dude on the ground, and the dude's doing like the defense. His legs are up, he's trying to block like some of the ground and pound. And he's like, "What is that? The taking the booty pose?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Come on, Snoop.
You're cracking
Come
up.
on,
You're cracking
Snoop.
up.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I felt." He's like, "Yeah, I seen it coming." there was a leg kick, and the dude was out. And he's like, "I knew it. I saw it coming." My boy, it was an Asian dude. My boy Tan got it.
Nice.
He's like, "Sleep, night, night," and he did a little lullaby song. I was like, "Wow, it's kind of ridiculous."
He gets paid a lot of money to do that. That's
So then
ridiculous.
they have both. They have the Snoop version of it, and then they have the regular version,
version,
so you can
yeah.
hear it, and it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, if I wanted to like laugh a little bit, I'll put on that version.
I watched the Snoop
But
highlights.
I like
You watch the Snoop highlights?
I like the
Highlights.
technical like aspect of it where I know what
Yeah.
they're talking about, and okay, like so you come a little more educated and you sound like a fucking idiot. 'Cause
Yeah.
you go to these fights, like I usually hit it at
Oh, man.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You always got that fucking guy that's still wearing that affliction shirt.
Yeah. Just
Fucking
bleed.
your ass. I'm like, all right, dude, calm down.
Mr. Tap.
Yeah.
You got a
That's,
hat.
I don't understand how people watch it. I mean, I did when I was a kid, like watch kung fu movies and came out and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
these are adults who will watch sports and think like, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there has to be
You
a
can kick
separation.
that guy's ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I can kick his ass.
Even like
Totally. Fuck
even
that.
big dudes who think they can beat up Demetrius Johnson. I want to be like, where do you like? What made you convince yourself that was true?
First,
Like you know what I'm saying? Like-
props to that guy for that confidence.
Yeah.
Zez.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Props
right.
for the confidence, but then the delusion, like your delusion and your confidence can't be out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have that shit on point, or else you're gonna fuck
Yeah,
up.
because look,
Real
now,
bad.
I still remember, so I'll tell this story.
Okay.
But then, so Elazar, I'm going to pride myself. I'm the first guy to ever take him to any beach in his whole life.
Oh, nice,
You know,
nice.
return to fucking Galveston.
Yes.
Which,
Do not hate.
Galveston
I
ain't-
love Galveston.
I love the beach. I'm from California.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
grew up around the beach. And this dude one day, we're down here in Houston. He's like,
Yeah.
I never been to the beach. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, ever? No beach? I'm like, you mean to tell me you just been to Lake Louisville, that nasty ass lake in the middle of Dallas? I'm like, no, we going to the beach.
Yeah.
And so we at the beach and shit, chilling. I'm like, man, you want to go? Like, we wrestling, we out there practicing. I get him in a rear naked, and he fucking escapes and shit. I was like, damn, man. Was I close? He's like, nah.
You're like a handsome chick.
Confidence below the ground. I was like, fuck. man.
I mean, he's,
But I enjoy like just fucking around, like like if we were on the mats, I'm like, all right, let's see, teach me some
He
shit.
was athletic, so he was
Yeah.
moving, and that's always a good thing because some people can't do that.
Yeah, some people have
just
no
fall
movement.
apart.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Yeah. But I think I was born a little too far north because I love Galveston. Like I think I'm a Galveston person inside of. I mean, minus the gangs and shit, because Galveston, y'all out of control. But I should be by the beach all the time.
Have you ever been to South Padre?
I have been to South Padre.
So the difference, you know what? And people say Galveston is filthy, but it's the Mississippi that's dumping all
Yeah.
that mud out into the Gulf.
Yeah, it's
not
the
as filthy.
runoff. Yeah.
The only time I wouldn't go to Galveston is after a heavy rain because the
Oh,
poop
yeah.
particles. They
Yeah.
say that the poop particles are, but I don't know how many parts per million, but it's a lot more, and it's because all the drainage and shit from the water
Yeah.
after a heavy rain dumps out into the freaking ocean.
Yeah.
So it's like, well,
And you
what
know
are you
what?
gonna do? You
Yeah.
might get pink eye.
I've heard I've heard during hurricane season when it's like crazy but not super crazy, you can actually surf in Galveston. Like if there's like the build up to a hurricane but
Huh.
not the actual hurricane, you can surf. That's crazy.
What's that movie where that dude's like, all right, can you catch my last wave, bro? And
Oh, fucking-
he was robbing banks and shit. I think
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Kurt Russell.
yeah.
Was it something Peak, right?
Point Break.
Point Break.
Yeah.
Point
It's
Break.
like, see you later, bro.
See this?
You catch this 4-foot wave.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yeah. All right, so I think we're running out of time, but
We're gonna wrap
like
it up.
we had your name, but we need to know your schedule, your Instagram, your all that kind of shit. So
Yeah, like Bo
You can-
Sisavasi, you
yeah,
follow
people
him,
need
man.
to follow you in
No,
your
no,
career.
you want these Insta hoes, man. You need
Do not hate.
more follows.
I post every single workout I do on
Dude, this dude is a
Instagram.
4:30 a.m. workout guy every fucking day.
Yeah.
When I'm in my routine in the morning is get up, take a dump, brush my teeth, shower. I'm on the toilet. I'm looking. I'm like, there goes Chumbo.
There you go,
4:30 a.m. What's
4:30
up? I'm
a.m.
like, making me feel like shit every single morning.
But that's mine, because like you got Jess, you got this stuff to motivate you, you got your gym partners. I work out alone, so I look at my Instagram and I'm like, I did that, like that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that shit again tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's something I can't do. Like I gotta sleep in, or I wake up, just in time to get ready and go to work.
Oh
But
man.
I take care of all my training in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, yeah.
So I'll get home, hit a run, and then head off to the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's good. I think it's better that way because I'm not really training at 100% at 4:30. But I'm not gonna train at all. So fuck it. I get up, lift
Might as well
weights
get
and do
it.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But tell us. So what's up?
what's
When's your next fight? Who do you fight for? What's your Instagram? What's your whatever else? All that stuff. Phone number, social security number, whatever you got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fight. I don't have a fight lined up. I fight for Molar MMA in Dallas. I recently fought for Legacy, so I've maybe they'll get me on another show here coming up soon. I know Colin told me he would.
I've been to a couple
Colin
Legacies.
Cantrell,
Legacies are good,
Get me
man.
on the Legacy show. You know what? I'd like to come out here and fight on a Houston card.
Yeah.
Actually.
There you go.
Make it happen. Make it
Yeah,
happen.
I'm
Colin
gonna
Cantrell.
put up your Instagram handle
Yeah.
so people
Yeah,
can see
get
it.
on.
Can you see it?
I don't think that's how. You could
not
just say it
fucking
too.
work.
That didn't
It's
work at all.
L_Oso84.
Yeah.
Oh, L, the letter L.
Yeah.
EL.
EL.
Oh, EL.
Like
L
L.
also, like the
Also.
bear.
Like the bear.
L_also
Yeah, L__also
84.
84.
All right.
My Twitter, I think, is at the bear.
The bear.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't Furioso, but I changed it because then people were like calling me Furioso for the nickname, and I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
to change it. But yeah, either way, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
Man, thanks for being a guest, man. I
Yeah,
really
thanks
appreciate you
for
coming
having
out.
me. Thanks for having me.
We're cutting into his beach like trip.
I know. You're
So I
going to the
appreciate that.
yeah,
It's all
exactly.
good. It's fun. I definitely wanted to do it, especially after I saw you guys' first episode. I thought it was
And my
great.
poop story.
Appreciate that. Yeah. The poop story. All right. And so before we go, one question, and then we'll let it go on that. Who's gonna win, Jones or Cormier?
DC.
I'm rooting for DC,
I'm
yeah.
rooting for DC. He's just.
I'm
Well, I'm a
surrounded
wrestler,
by
so-
traitors. I'm surrounded
I
by.
love John Jones, but man,
John's a
DC.
wrestler, too.
Yeah.
I love DC, man.
But
Everybody
DC,
calls
yeah.
him the fat wrestler, man. I think that guy is solid as fuck.
Since
He's
that
a
first
great
fight,
fighter.
DC has grown exponentially. Yeah.
Dude, his stand-up
Yeah.
game is outrageous,
Yeah.
man. It's improved so much since the first one. So I gotta go with my boy DC.
All right, there you go. Space Shitty episode 2.
Those-
Please watch it. I'm gonna figure out how to put it on iTunes. I am not there yet, but we'll get it up, and everybody, you can listen to this, and you can watch this, and have a good.
Sponsors, if you have any sponsors, man, we take it.
Exactly. Hey.
Coffee is always good.
Exactly. I know they got some, what are they called? Dispensaries. If y'all want to sponsor a nigga, let me know.
Exactly.
All right. Good
All right.
night.
Sign off.
Laters.